Hi there, John here. I just want to cover a few housekeeping items before we plunge into this important section on review preparation, test taking, strategies, and resources. Number one, you can adjust the playback speed. If you want it faster or slower, that is up to you. And there's an image here where the arrow is pointing where you can adjust the speed. It's on the bottom left of your screen when you're watching a video lecture. Item 2, for the benefit of up to 70% of our students who listen to the lecture while multitasking, commuting to work, doing things around the house, we read out some slides. This way, the lecture text that they hear on their headphones are precise, unambiguous, and on point. Our review preparation and test-taking strategies and resources. Item 1. Know what is covered in the exam. The PMI-PBA exam is based on the Exam Content Outline, ECO, the PMI Guide to Business Analysis, or the Guide, and the Business Analysis for Practitioners, a Practice Guide, or Practice Guide. 2. Another review resource is the PMBOK Guide 6th edition. This is also available for download for free at the PMI website if you are a PMI member. 3. Read, study, and understand. Don't try to memorize. These 3 main reference materials where the questions would come from. And 4, the guide and the practice guide are available for download as well at a small fee, unless you are a PMI member at the PMI website. Let's cover item 2 of our exam preparation and test taking strategies. Know and use your review resources and tools. 1. Replay the video lectures and retake the assessment quizzes until you get 100% correct answers. 2. Retake the final exam until you get at least 80% correct answers or more. 3. Know and use additional review resources easily available to you. And 4. Acquire for a small fee additional practice or mock tests. The internet is replete with them. And employ the same strategy. Take and retake the practice tests until you get at least 80% or more correct answers. Number 3, simulate actual exam test taking conditions. 1. Note, and this is important, you have 4 hours to finish 200 questions or 1.2 minutes per questions. 2. Note, and this is important, do not linger excessively on a question. Mark it so you can come back to it later, then move on. We're now on item 4. During your first week of review, devote 2 2-hour review sessions a day to bone up on the concepts, principles, and technique. Research in cognitive psychology has shown that studying for shorter periods across several days promotes learning and test performance. Continue this until the second week and so on until you get into a consistent pattern or habit. Remember that the key is disciplined consistency and repetition. Item 5. Know how to study for the PMI-PBA exam. Studying is more than just reading the reference materials we enumerated for you. It is also important that you understand what type of a learner you are. It takes dedication and perseverance. For example, do you learn best through reading books, reading online, visually like graphics and video, listening like podcasts, books, or CDs, or a combination of all three? Okay, let's cover strategy 5. Whatever style of learning works best for you, there are lots of resources online tailored to your learning styles. Check them out first before subscribing. Baselining your knowledge on business analysis against the guide and the practice guide is the first step to developing a study or preparation plan. Know your strengths and weaknesses. Taking and retaking the assessment quizzes and the final exam will help you determine your baseline knowledge. 7. Prepare a PMI-PBA exam schedule. What can be measured can be managed. That which is scheduled gets done. Make studying a priority and stick to it. Treat studying for the PMI-PBA like a project. Plan the work and work the plan. Okay, continuing on. Item 7.5. This means developing meaningful milestones and realistic schedule to implement your study plan. 7.6. Identify what you will study, when, and for how long. Be aware that your study schedule, like any other project, can be affected by unforeseen events that will require you to manage the change. Revise your schedule. Next item, many candidates for the PMI-PBA exam find creative ways to uncover extra time in their days to prepare for the exam. Listening to podcasts or video lecture over the internet during your work commute and during your lunch periods. 7.9. Be honest with yourself about your ability to maintain the schedule and close the knowledge gap. Okay, continuing on. Number 8. Studying for the PMI-PBA exam also means vocabulary drills. One of the attributes of the PMI-PBA certification that gives cachet and value across borders, technical disciplines, and industries is a foundational lexicon that provides common vocabulary shared by business analysts worldwide. That's very important. A lack of understanding of the PMI Guide to Business Analysis or guide vocabulary is one of the common causes of candidates not passing the exam on their first try. And 3, therefore, it is important for the candidate to go through the glossary of the guide and be familiar with the meaning of about 500 business analysis words and phrases in that glossary. Number 9, tracking, monitoring, and lessons learned. You know, the principles we learned in business analysis to help ensure the organization's project success, like traceability and monitoring, apply equally to our own personal projects. Bottom line, we need to track our progress. We have to know the status of our review. A good way to do this is through study templates. We have attached as an additional resource a sample study template for you. Feel free to modify or tailor them to your needs and unique situation. Be sure to capture your lessons learned. Most, if not all, plans need to be adjusted as soon as they are implemented. Yours will most likely need to be adjusted too. Yes, identify early on those gaps and plug them. Okay, we're at number 9. Develop SMART goals. We covered SMART goals and needs assessment. Whether you are studying for the exam or changing career and taking a fast-track training in business analysis, developing SMART goals will benefit you. Remember, SMART stands for S for specific, M for measurable, A for achievable, R for relevant, and T for time-bound. If you are reviewing to take the exam, your SMART goal might be to pass the exam on your first try in 3 to 4 months or less of dedicated and focused review and study. If you are new to the BA profession and want to be ready to interview for entry-level BA jobs in 2 months, then your SMART goal might be to master the material, the knowledge areas, the processes, tasks, and vocabulary, and pass the assessment quizzes and final exams in 30 to 60 days of disciplined review and preparation. Let's cover item 10 of our exam preparation and test taking strategies. Get enough sleep. It is important for this marathon of 2 to 3 months project to pass the PMI-PBA exam or to just acquire a solid foundational knowledge and training on business analysis, to have a well-rested mind and body. Getting enough sleep will allow good recall and retrieval of the knowledge and information you stored through your studies. Item 11, repetition, repetition, practice, practice. We can't say this enough. For the mind to retain and process the information you're providing it, it needs to hear and practice it more than a few times. Yes, this is in tandem with having enough sleep.